Why is the nation struggling so much in poverty? It is because we have shifted from the real understanding of rich and poor. We no longer understand what does it mean to be rich, what does it mean to be poor. So now we need to elaborate and understand what does it mean to be that poor or rich. What does it mean to be poor actually? To be poor, it means you have no access to food. You have no access to real food that you need to eat as a human being. In our days, we have food that is not healthy. You see an orange, you eat an orange, but it doesn't bring that vitamin D you are looking for. This means having no access to land. If you don't have access to land, especially domestic land and commercial land, that means you are not even a human being yourself, because people are congested there in shacks. People are congested there in townships with a very small size that you are owning. Even you don't even own that site. All right? So you can't say you have land if you have that site. You can't even own it. It is owned by maybe the municipality or the bank or anyone who may own it. So we as people, we need land, commercial land and domestic land. Okay? For your domestic land, you can stay, we have a bigger site with your family. You can have enough sites with your family to live and have a small garden where you can have food for your domestic use. And commercial use, we need to have those businesses as we had in those times. I grew up in a place whereby our family had a very plenty land to plow and have food there. We could have maize meal, we could have beans and everything, so that we didn't even have to have money in our bank accounts because we had everything. This means to have no access to shelter. If you have no access to shelter, how can you say you are rich? That means we are poor. It is real poor, because if we say we have an RDP, but only to find that in this RDP there are 10 people living in it, that means we have no shelter, because we don't have a place to sleep, we don't have enough space for ourselves. It means not having free and decolonized education. If we don't have free and decolonized education, that means we are poor, because decolonized education will convert your mind to something else. It will not make you the products that you are looking yourself to be, unless you'll be an educated slave. But back in the days, we had education, better education from our forefathers, from our families. We had everything we needed to learn to be successful. We have everything we needed to learn to be able to feed our families. So today, we don't have all that. It doesn't matter whether we are living next to the ocean in big houses. It doesn't mean because we don't own those houses. It means no access to trade, entrepreneurship. Though we can say there are opportunities back there through NYDA and so forth, yes, they are. But who gets access to it? Are we able to get access to that? Are we able to achieve through that our goals? Back in the days, people were able to trade freely. People were able to do businesses among themselves without any boundary that is a barrier among them. People were able to achieve many. People were able to be rich, because if my neighbor have beans and I have maize meal, we will share. We will trade. He will give me part of beans. I will give him part of maize meal. Then both of us, we have meal, and we have beans as well. We can eat with our family, and my neighbor as well have the same thing. Then I trade with somebody else, another neighbor. Then with this neighbor, maybe they have potatoes. I will give them milli, they give me potatoes. Now I have milli, I have beans, I have potatoes. I also trade with another neighbor whom have kekli. Then I will be able to get daily products. I will be able to get some milk, and I will have mess. I will be able to get some meat from them and give them the milli, then they have milli and mess and meat. I have milli, mess, beans and potatoes. In this way, I have everything I need now. So I don't have to go, I don't even need the money. I need food, I need something to eat. Then I'm rich in a way. We can go on and on talking about economy, talking about fresh water we need to drink because we no longer have water. We can talk about many things, especially health. How can we say we are rich if we don't have access to health? Medicine used to be free. There in a bush, we could go there, grab some roots, we grab some leaves, put it together, then we have medicine. If we are sick, then we drink it, we are free from that sickness. We are healed for free in every sickness. Guys, what does it mean to be poor? This is the meaning of being poor. We can go on and now explain what does it mean to be rich. It is almost the same. To be rich, we used to be rich this time when we thought we were poor. Because we had access to land, we had access to food, real food, we had access to water, pure water. We had access to education from our forefathers, chiefs in a village, and everyone. We grew up knowing that a child is raised by a nation. So everyone is a teacher. Everyone cares about the community and the well-being of a child. So being rich means having access to trading, businesses, in a very old way that we used to do when we trade, even though it was not in a monetary form. But our economy was very strong, we were healthy, we used to live longer. Back then, it was not an issue reaching 100 years. But now, if you reach 100 years, we clap hands, we have to applaud you, we say you are blessed. But back then, people could live up to 300 years, 500 years without having any sickness and have to die. Why is that? Our lifespan is very short now. It's because we don't have food that is very good for us to eat. If we don't have food that is very good for us to eat, we won't have a real health in ourselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us open our eyes. What does it mean to be rich? Does it mean that I have to live next to an ocean, in a very big mansion that I don't own? What does it mean to be rich? Does it mean to go to my village and build some real houses that I own and sit there with my family, live freely, free from debt and free from everything? What does it mean to be rich? I think to be rich, it means to have access to all the necessary things we need for living. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have given you the solution. I have written you this book as it titled, When We Were Poor, We Were Rich. It is basically means the time we used to live when we thought we were poor. That is the real time when we were rich. But now we are in good suits, we are in good buildings, driving nice cars, but we have nothing. So now we cannot say we are rich. So now when we think we are rich, that is when we are really poor. I have written you this book. It will address the necessary topics. Topics of land, struggle, economy, education, and entrepreneurship, etc., etc. If you read this book, it will make you worthwhile. It will open your mind, enlighten you. Students, teachers, employees, working class, government, you all need this book. Entrepreneurs, you all need this book to make yourself a worth entrepreneur, to make yourself a right person to live, a right person to provide for your family, and the right person to make everything better. Let us make a better nation. Let us make our nation be rich. But how can we make our nation be rich if we don't want to read? We need to read, grab as enough information as we need from the right sources, because some sources may be bland. So for us to know what they need us to know, and not know what we need to know. Let us not be brainwashed. Let us read the necessary readings. Let us get the real truth, because if we have the real truth, we will be rich. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your book I present to you. I am Sibonelo Wongtlandla Goqo. Thank you.